Meet Berries, the AI-powered scribe that writes your therapy notes for you. Secure and private with no recording stored and EMR ready with one click. Join over 8,000 clinicians, saving time and staying present in sessions. And right now, save $50 off your first month with code TherapyShow50. Berries, so you can focus on care, not notes.
Welcome to the Therapy Show with Lisa Mustard, where continuing education meets convenience. Lisa brings therapists practical conversations with expert guests who share tools, techniques, and insights to enrich your practice. Whether you're on a walk, commuting, or cooking dinner, you can earn continuing education contact hours and stay inspired without sitting through endless recorded trainings. Visit lisamustard.com to join the CE membership and keep your professional growth as seamless as your favorite podcast.
Well, hey friends, welcome back to another episode of The Therapy Show. I'm your host, Lisa Mustard, and today I am tackling something I hear all the time. You've created your continuing education course. You've poured your knowledge, your experience, your energy all into it. You've shared it in all the Facebook groups that you're part of. You've shared it a million times. And now it feels like the momentum has stalled. You're wondering, what else can I even do? If that's you, trust me, you're not doing anything wrong. It just means it's time to evolve your strategy. So in this episode, I'm going to walk you through some deeper, smarter ways to market your continuing education course that doesn't involve spamming the Facebook groups or exhausting yourself. Posting in Facebook groups can be great for initial traction, but here are the issues. It's mostly the same eyeballs seeing your posts over and over. The algorithm often limits visibility unless it's high engagement content. And you risk burnout or looking spammy if it's all that you're doing. So if you've hit a wall, it's time to pivot, not quit, but pivot. So let's zoom out. Think about what you like seeing on social, especially as a busy professional. You probably stop scrolling for something that gives you a quick win, a new insight, or helps you do your job better, not necessarily a sales pitch. So instead of saying, buy my course, try these things instead. Share a story from your clinical work, confidential, of course, that connects to your course topic. Drop a tip of the day or myth busting post related to your subject area. Record a 60-second video giving a practical takeaway, something that they can use right away. Then naturally mention your course at the end, something like, if this resonated and you want to go deeper, I teach more about this in my continuing education course on topic XYZ. So this builds trust, shows your expertise, and gives before you make that ask. And here's another thing. Social media is so noisy, but email is intimate. Even a list of 20 or 50 or 100 people, if they're truly interested in your topic, is way more powerful than thousands of passive social followers, because email is your space to educate, nurture, and invite. I would highly encourage you to start with something that's a freebie, a PDF guide, a quick quiz, a mini training, something aligned with your course. For example, if your course is on trauma-informed care, offer a trauma response cheat sheet for clinicians. If it's about working with teens, how about a 10 therapy activities for teen clients guide? Use that to build your list, then send helpful content consistently. Think about these things you can send. Behind the scenes on how you built your course, question and answers, client wins, again, anonymously, reminders when your course is then open for sale. This is where real conversions happen. I've seen it. I've seen it happen for me. You want to collaborate with people that your audience already trusts, and you don't have to do this alone. Who already has the attention of your ideal learner? Really think about that, because this is key. Think about who already has the attention of your ideal learner. I say it twice because it's really important. So could you go live with another therapist on Instagram and talk about your topic? Could you ask a past supervisor or mentor to share your course with their email list, or even in a team meeting? Could you be a guest on a podcast? And yes, feel free to pitch me. You can make it personal because I read all the messages that I get. Even if you're introverted, this kind of partnership builds warm leads. You're being introduced by someone your audience already knows and trusts, and that is huge. Now, I can't stress this one enough. Use testimonials because they are gold. If someone took your course and loved it, ask them to share what they learned or how it helped them. Even just a few sentences go a long way. If they're okay with it, post their words or a screenshot of an email on your course page, social media, or an email newsletter. Even better, tell stories. What was someone struggling with before your course? What changed after? What did they do differently in session because of what they learned? That's what prospective buyers care about. Will this help me show up better for my clients? And you don't need to post daily to stay visible. Instead, focus on a few solid pieces of evergreen content that live online and can keep bringing people back to you. This could be a blog post answering a common therapist question and then linking to your course, a short YouTube video titled How to Solve the problem that your course addresses. That would be your title. A podcast episode like this one where you share insights and offer a course as a next step. One good piece of content can bring in learners months or even years after you hit publish. And make sure it is easy to buy because sometimes it's not a visibility problem, it's a clarity problem. Ask yourself these questions. Is your course landing page easy to navigate? Are the learning outcomes clear and specific? Can someone go from interested to enrolled in 2 or 3 clicks? You could even do a video by showing yourself, explaining what they'll learn, who it's for, and how it helps. Let them see your face because that personal touch makes a big difference. You don't need to post in 15 groups a day. You don't need to be on every platform. You do need to focus on connection, clarity, and content that serves because your continuing education course matters and the right people will find it, especially when you create pathways that guide them there gently and intentionally. And if you want to start building that strategy right away, that's exactly why I created the CE Course Builder because it's free and it helps you map out your course and your marketing step by step. Think of it as your CE planning buddy. You can grab it over at lisamustard.com/CE builder or just click the link in the show notes. I promise you, you do not need to post in 15 groups a day. You do not need to be on every platform, but you do need to focus on connection, clarity, and content that serves. Let me explain to you how I market my continuing education Podcourse bundle because honestly, I have given up on posting in the Facebook groups. I do every now and then when somebody asks a specific question about a certain course or they're looking for a certain angle or a certain perspective, then I will share. And I do look at Facebook once or twice a day and I do look in those groups and see if there's any interest, but I don't stress about it if I don't go into the groups and share something. Instead, when I first got started, what I decided to do, I knew I had to create an email list. If I had listened to enough marketing podcasts about selling courses to know that the sales truly happen in the email list, not so much on social media because of all the reasons I shared about the algorithm, visibility, burnout, all that stuff. So when I got started, I initially did a free course, but what I was finding was people weren't really taking me up on that. They weren't signing up to get a free course. So I changed it to getting half off your first pod course. And then from there, I knew it was going to take time to build that email list. So I didn't stress it too much. What I stressed on was creating consistent weekly content on this podcast. And then once I got up more and more podcast episodes, I then reached out to other podcasters in the therapy world space. And I asked if I could come on their podcast and talk about my courses. I always shared how they could get a half off a pod course, and that drove people to my website. So then they would check out what I had. And if they were interested, they would then sign up for that half off course. Now, I don't have this huge list. I don't have thousands and thousands of people on my list, like, perhaps a lot of other podcasters out there or therapists who do continuing education courses like Pessy. Y'all know Pessy has a huge list, but they also have a huge marketing budget. So I get emails from Pessy all the time. I email my list probably 3 times a month about what's going on, new pod courses that are coming out. I try to stay relevant and I want to be in front of them. So when I do have a new pod course out, I can share it with them and they will go and check it out and hopefully purchase that pod course or purchase the pod course bundle. So let me backtrack again. I created that get half off your first pod course. Then I did set up some autoresponder, like the email welcome script. So when people sign up for my email, they get nurtured through about 5 emails to kind of stay on top of their mind if they're looking for continuing education. Then I was reaching out to other podcasters in our space and asked if I could come on their show. And on top of that, this whole past 5-6 years, I have created podcast episodes consistently. So I'm always creating content, but I'm not doing it on socials. I'm doing it in a searchable format. So if you were to get on Apple Podcasts and search for continuing education counselors, my podcast should pop up pretty quickly. So I also have used Pinterest over the years because Pinterest is a searchable site. So people get on there and they look for continuing education for therapists. My Pinterest pin should pop up, and that's going to lead them to my Podcourse page, where then hopefully they will sign up to get half off a Podcourse, or they'll save it and come back when they're ready to purchase for the continuing education. I guess my point is, stop posting in all of the Facebook groups because I know it's tiring. It's like the same thing over and over again. People just scroll by it. And do they purchase? Yes, they purchase, but they will purchase more from you if you're nurturing them in an email or on a podcast, or they're coming to you from a mentor or another person in your space that they already are listening to. So I get it. You want to keep posting in the Facebook groups because there might be somebody in there who's going to purchase, but Facebook groups are not the be all end all of marketing for therapists. Now, I just want to reiterate, it's really important that you step outside of social media if it's not working for you. If I were you, I would honestly create that email, get that freebie going, create content that's going to give them something, a quick win, a checklist, a quiz, even something that is going to give them something that they are needing or that they're looking for to help their clients. Then go and get on other podcasts. Go out there and pitch yourself to all the podcasters out there that are doing therapy related podcasts, because people listen to those podcasts. Trust me, they are listening. The downloads that therapists are getting are awesome. And when they can hear you or see you in a video, it all starts to build that know, like, and trust. All of those factors are rolling for you. You're not going to get that in a Facebook group or a Facebook post unless you run that Facebook community. And even then, it's hard to gain traction because it's the same thing over and over again. And I know that this isn't your strength. I know that you created a course because you wanted to get your expertise out there. You wanted to make a bigger impact. But if you really want to move forward and you want to really earn that extra income from continuing education, you have to step outside of your comfort zone and you have to do new things. So I hope this was helpful. I would love to get your feedback. Feel free to send me an email. You guys can reach me at lisa@lisamustard.com. You can also get my CE course builder, because all of this that I just shared is going to show up in that CE course builder. So when you ask it for a marketing plan, it's going to give you all this information. All right, you guys, I hope you have a great Christmas. Happy holidays. I will be back in your earbuds in the beginning of 2026. So happy holidays, happy new year, and I will see you soon. Take good care. Please note that the Therapy Show with Lisa Mustard is for informational and entertainment purposes only, and not a substitute for professional medical or mental health advice. Always consult with your therapist, doctor, or physician before implementing any suggestions from the show. The Therapy Show with Lisa Mustard is edited and engineered by Chelsea Weaver. If you're looking to start a podcast or ready to take the editing off of your plate, be sure to visit chelseaweaverpodcasting.com. Well, that wraps up another episode of The Therapy Show with Lisa Mustard. I know there are hundreds of thousands of podcasts out there, and I'm thankful you've chosen to listen to mine. Be sure to visit lisamustard.com to access the show notes and discover all the pod courses and other continuing education offerings. And I'd be grateful if you subscribe to the show. Thank you.